Okay, I got the motor in. I had a little bit of problems. The starter, I actually broke the starter loosening the bolt. Boom. So they did send a replacement one of those. I'm going to see if my local Napa or Canadian Tire sells a new one. I'm using the Dodge Positive and the Dodge Negative on this. I had it turning over. I just don't have the fuel solenoid hooked up, so I know it won't fire. But I have an issue with this body mount. I'm going to maybe have to redo my steering. Very little clearance. Maybe if I just grind it back and re-weld, it'll be a little bit better, but we'll see. Got the power steering lines all hooked up, the vacuum line all hooked up for the brakes. I'm going to start throwing the front end of the motor back together, sorry, front end of the body with the rad cradle all back together. See how it goes today. Alright. Okay, I got the inner fender on. I guess the rules go the way they should. Twice as hard to get on as it is to get off. Just starting to figure out the wiring here. Now I did start building my exhaust. I used the stock 90, but I had to cut it down to like a 45 from a 3 to a 4 inch and then a 4 inch through. And then I took a 90 and cut it down. Now to do this, I actually had to cut quite a bit of the floor out, so that will all be a little hump put over it. I might just come back off this right here and come straight across and then kind of angle it down. And I'll fill it full of heat shield and stuff like that. But I got stainless steel exhaust, food grade, so she'll never rot on me, Canadian winters, right? But just starting to clean up the wiring, and there's some broke stuff, so just cleaning all that up. Starting to do a little bit of cleanup of the shop. I guess it doesn't really look like it, but I am. Anyway, she's getting back to normal. Coming back together. Rad clearance is still very minimal. That's about, on the center of the fan, it's about half an inch, and on the fan blade, she's about a 1/4 inch. So, still going. So I got the exhaust worked out, and the exhaust is past the engine bay. I'm still waiting on the return line to dump into my fuel tank. I kind of want a professional one. I just don't want to, because the gas tank's on the inside of the truck, so I don't want to just drill a hole. I've been gas tank on her all day, and I don't have any fuel lines hooked up, so I'm running on bare minimum of fuel. I got my windshield washer jug in there, but I think that may have to be moved for the air filter. It's going to come back and do a sharp 90, 180, and then come right back to here. All my wiring is done on this side of the motor. So the alternator's all done in, thanks to FordCummins.com with their easy wiring diagrams. Wiring's not really my specialty, so this side is pretty much done. I might have to do little tweaks and stuff, but now on this side, the only thing I have hooked up so far is the solenoid, fuel solenoid. I have the water temp hooked up, but it's not done. I don't have the fuel pressure hooked up. I don't really have too much hooked up on this side, but I do have it running. Now, mind you, there's very little fuel inside this thing, so she's battery just came off. Hold on. So this thing's pretty much out of fuel. Like, there's no fuel lines hooked up at all, because I haven't got the, but she's been running real good. I just got the 4 inch down, right? So I'm gonna get a hanger on there. The floor's been cut out. I still haven't fixed that yet, so the floor is still just kind of cut out, but once that's covered in, she runs with the keys. So first step is done. Now I just gotta, oh, I came across another problem. Here's my intercooler tubing, and it hits my brakes. So I'm gonna have to build a custom one that comes out, does a sharp 90, misses it, and then comes down, misses my power steering lines, and then comes into it. So this one's aluminum, so I can't really do too much with it. So I will have to, I'm probably gonna build it out of stainless because I can get stainless from work, but yeah, so she's coming along pretty good, boys and girls. Anybody that's interested, there'll be more videos. Okay, so I moved the windshield washer box. This is just a temporary bungee cord, but I'm going to build a little L bracket and bolt it right there and along the bottom as well. I did cut it to sink it down just a bit, so, but it fits in there pretty nicely. And then just squeezes by everything there. So I'm pretty impressed with that. I moved the windshield washer jug over to here, changed all my lines. It's okay, I put it in. It's out of a Toyota. I got all my rad hoses hooked up now. But it's coming along. Motor does start and run, no problem underneath this hood. But still waiting on parts for the gas tank. I took the filler level indicator out of it. And I tried to siphon out as much gas as possible, and then I put, I don't know, half a gallon of diesel in there, and I'm going to drain that out, and then I'll fill it back up with diesel, and then that's clean enough for me to run. So, just going to leave it all that open so the gas evaporates, hopefully, as much as possible, but little bit more to do with the grid heater. Intercooler pipe. I gotta fasten down the air breather. I gotta finish the heater on the inside. I don't have enough gear clamps. I need to go buy some of those. I need to do an oil change, fuel filter change. It actually smelled like the fuel filter had like, I don't know, like ether in it, or I took it off. Pretty much just beat the shit out of it to get it off. But I'm going to get a new one and put that on. I will be tuning this a bit, just changing my fuel level, fuel sending unit. But it's coming along good. Minimal clearance, so that will keep it cold. I don't have an overflow for the rad yet. I'm thinking about taking this, turning it a sharp 90. Maybe not that sharp, maybe about that sharp. Running it across and then just installing my old one, which is also out of a Toyota. Just to have an overflow. I do want to run a second battery, but I will see about that. It'd be nice, but I don't even have the money for 2 batteries right now. So we'll just see how it goes and stuff, right? But still need to ground the motor. Sorry, ground the battery to the body. It's only to the motor right now, so. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. I spent like 7 hours out here today and just started putting stuff back together. Alright guys, more to come. Still looking. Actually, the hardest part's finding the bolts to put it all back together. Alright, take care.